Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will get lost in the pages of A Silent Witness by R. Austin Freeman. A Silent Witness is a gripping mystery novel penned by R. Austin Freeman, a master of the detective genre known for his creation of Dr. Thorndyke, a medico-legal forensic investigator. Published in 1914, the novel delves into an intriguing case filled with unexpected twists and scientific precision. The story is narrated by a young medical student who inadvertently becomes embroiled in a complex web of deceit, murder, and legal intrigue, showcasing Freeman's hallmark integration of medical and legal expertise in unraveling mysteries. Plot summary. On a dark, misty night in September, a young medical student set out from his lodgings in Gospel Oak for a stroll along his favorite path, Millfield Lane. This was no ordinary night, however, as the thick clouds and a threat of rain imbued the atmosphere with a heavy sense of foreboding. As he ventured into the lane, familiar yet eerie in the dim light, he encountered something that would change the course of his life. Lying across the path was the body of an elderly man. The man was dressed as a clergyman, his eyes wide open, staring unseeingly into the heavens, with no visible wound or sign of violence. Startled and unsettled, the student confirmed the man was indeed dead. There was no pulse, and his skin was already growing cold. The night seemed to hold its breath as the student, grappling with what he had found, decided he must alert the authorities. Quickly making his way to a nearby constable, the student reported the grim discovery. The officer, though skeptical of the student's claims, agreed to accompany him back to the scene. But upon their return, the lane was empty. The body had vanished without a trace, leaving only the drizzle of rain and the rustling of leaves in the breeze. There were no footprints, no drag marks, nothing to indicate that a body had ever been there. The constable eyed the student with suspicion, as if doubting his sanity, and left him with a warning not to waste police time with such flights of fancy. Unable to shake off the encounter, the student resolved to investigate on his own. Early the next morning, with the sun casting a golden hue over the autumn leaves, he returned to Millfield Lane. The peaceful scene contrasted sharply with the previous night's mystery. As he inspected the area where the body had lain, he noticed a faint stain on the fence, brown and dried. It looked like blood. Then, amidst the dewy grass, his eye caught something glinting, a small, ornate object. He picked it up and saw it was an octagonal gold case, intricately engraved with cryptic letters, AMDG and SVDP, and no apparent way to open it. The case was unlike anything he had seen before, its purpose and origins shrouded in mystery. Days passed, and the student could not let go of the strange events he had witnessed. His life took a further unexpected turn when he was approached by Dr. John Thorndyke, a renowned medico-legal expert. Thorndyke required his assistance in temporarily managing the practice of Dr. Batson, who needed to leave town urgently. Eager for the experience and intrigued by Thorndyke's reputation, the student agreed. It was here that he would encounter the case of Septimus Maddock, a patient whose death would bring the pieces of the puzzle together in the most unexpected way. Maddock was a man of mystery. His death was sudden and inexplicable, without any clear signs of illness or trauma. The only unusual aspect was a clause in his will, stipulating that his body was to be cremated immediately after death. This request raised alarms and required a thorough examination before cremation could proceed. As the student examined Maddock's body, he found no clear cause of death, no injury, no signs of poisoning, nothing that could explain his abrupt demise. It was as if life had simply been extinguished, leaving no trace of the reason why. As Thorndyke joined the investigation, he connected Maddock's death to the earlier incident in Millfield Lane. Through a combination of forensic analysis and keen observation, Thorndyke began to unravel a web of deceit involving stolen religious artifacts, including the small reliquary the student had found. This trinket, now identified as a stolen relic, became the key to understanding Maddock's involvement in a broader criminal enterprise. The ornate gold case was not merely decorative. It held religious significance and connected Maddock to a network of individuals dealing in stolen ecclesiastical treasures. Meanwhile, the student's explorations led him to Kenwood, an area close to Millfield Lane. Following a hunch, he retraced his steps from the night of the discovery and this time he found a faint trail of footprints leading away from the scene. The trail led to a secluded part of the woods, near a small, overgrown lake. Here, he discovered signs of a body being dragged through the underbrush, confirming his suspicion that the clergyman's body had been moved. The reeds and muddy ground bore the unmistakable imprint of a struggle, adding another layer of complexity to the mystery. As the student delved deeper into Maddox's background, he discovered that Maddox had been involved in the theft and smuggling of valuable religious items. The mysterious gold trinket was part of a larger set of stolen artifacts. Maddox's untimely death was not a simple case of natural causes, but was intricately tied to his criminal dealings. Someone had silenced him before he could reveal too much, or perhaps as retribution for a betrayal within his criminal circle. The climax unfolded in a dramatic sequence of events. With the evidence gathered and the connections made, Thorndyke and the student confronted Maddox's associates. It became clear that Maddox had been poisoned, the method so subtle and undetectable that it had almost passed unnoticed. Thorndyke's expertise in forensic medicine revealed the use of a rare toxin that mimicked natural death. The poison had been administered through a seemingly harmless bottle of medicine found at the scene, implicating those close to Maddox. In a final twist, the investigation led them to the artist Sylvia, who had been painting in the area near Millfield Lane. Her innocent presence and sharp observations had initially seemed unrelated, but they provided crucial insights into the timeline and potential witnesses. It was Sylvia's description of a man she had seen loitering near the scene that led to the capture of the culprit, a member of Maddox's circle who had orchestrated the thefts and eliminated Maddox when he became a liability. The case closed with the recovery of the clergyman's body, hidden in the dense underbrush of Kenwood. The truth behind his death, the stolen reliquary, and Maddox's criminal activities were brought to light through Thorndyke's meticulous investigation and the students' relentless curiosity. It was a case that tested the limits of scientific inquiry and legal knowledge, demonstrating the power of observation, logic, and the pursuit of truth. The young student walked away from the experience with a new understanding of the complexities of life and death, law and medicine. The events of those dark nights and foggy mornings had shaped his view of the world, showing him that even in the most inexplicable circumstances, there is always a thread of reason waiting to be uncovered. This was just one chapter in Dr. Thorndyke Mystery Series. If you want more, check out the rest of the series by R. Austin Freeman. Details are below or on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in R. Austin Freeman's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.